So, hey guys, how's it going today? We're doing something a little bit different. I usually don't show up on camera, but some interesting news came up today, and so I thought I'd discuss it. So, I just got to open on my laptop here. And so the interesting news of the day is that starting April 20th, GO Transit train fares at least that are under 10 kilometers are dropping to $3.70, which is pretty exciting because, as far as I know, they've never been beneath $4. Currently, according to this the Star article I'm looking at right now, it costs $4.70 to go from Bloor Dundas to Union. So this is a pretty significant cut. That will now cost $3.70. Now, there is a lot of discussion about this, and it also does mention that current GO Transit fares for kind of the rest of the system outside of kind of, I think, 20 kilometers are all going to go up, but only by about 4%, so it's not a huge amount. I find this really exciting. It makes a lot of sense to raise the fares on the kind of extremities of the system. That's actually where a lot of the ridership is, and it also is justifiable. Those people are kind of incurring the highest cost because they're requiring the most amount of fuel to run the trains and stuff, so you can kind of justify it that way. It's also significant because GO and the city and the TTC, etc., everyone wants GO to be more useful within the city of Toronto. Now you have Lakeshore East and Up Express service running every 15 minutes virtually all day. The Up Express especially has seen a ton of uptake in ridership from kind of new developing communities on the west side of Toronto, so I think that makes a lot of sense. But you also see the Barrie line, the Lakeshore West line, they both have all-day service. The Lakeshore West is down to every 20 minutes. The Stouffville line is getting an increasing amount of all-day service, and once the station construction there is complete, we'll probably see more all-day service. So it makes a lot of sense because there's all this new service being introduced, and a lot of these stations are in super convenient locations. For example, Kennedy is one that comes to mind. If you're taking a bus to Kennedy, why not hop on the GO train and get downtown way faster than taking the subway? And it's not going to cost you that much more, especially when you consider the TTC co-fare gets rolled in with this $3.70. Beyond that, there's not a ton more to say besides the fact that it is a little higher than anyone had hoped. A lot of people were hoping that the previous liberal government plan to have the fares at $3 within kind of the short-range distance was going to be continued. That's not being continued. However, it doesn't cost apparently anything for them to lower it to $3.70 because they expect it to break even in terms of increasing ridership, which is exciting. There was some mention too that this is kind of useful perhaps if you want to go just a one-station hop. There's a few different locations in the system where it could make sense, but given the kind of limited service in a lot of places, that one-station hop might not make a ton of sense, but maybe in the future when there's more all-day service, it could. For example, people going somewhere, maybe like, let's see, a lot of those hops would be to Union, but there's perhaps some connections that would make sense. Perhaps going to like Downsview Park from north or south. So yeah, I think it's all really exciting. It's kind of a huge blow to John Tory's Smart Track plan, which most people know is kind of dead on arrival. It's not a real different plan from anything that was already proposed, and at this point it's just the city is going to fund some GO RER stations, which currently we don't know the status of. But you should expect a video soon discussing perhaps what the new plan that Doug Ford and his government is proposing is. I'd like to suggest that perhaps it's something like the REM in Montreal, or perhaps another alternative that people are thinking is that maybe they're talking about some GO RER in a tunnel, kind of reminiscent of some systems in Australia, like in Melbourne and Sydney. So I think that's very interesting. However, I thought I would do a video like this, kind of editorializing a bit more, talking about the plans. I think there's tons of interesting news every day in our transit systems. It's exciting, actually, that as much as this government has been pretty regressive, it's exciting to see that they're actually doing some things on transits. And if these plans that they're changing, if they're laid out right, I think a lot of people could be supportive. But it really depends on how badly does this delay the current plans. But that being said, a lot of it feels like it's kind of being, foot dragging with the city and stuff. So it doesn't feel like a ton of work has gotten done. Of course, there's some engineering and stuff, but in the example, something like REM, that can be expedited a lot if the government has the willpower. So all of this is very interesting. But I thought I would share the news of the fair drop. I thought that was interesting news I would bring to you guys, and you should stay tuned for more content like this. We're going to be trying to do it on a more frequent basis. It takes a lot of time to edit the more kind of editing heavy videos, things like especially station focuses and any video with map, because we have to cut all the images, we have to do transitions, scripts, etc. So this kind of stuff where we're doing news style content is easier for us to do, and we really enjoy it. So I think that'll be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to the channel. Thanks. Bye.